Die Karte ist aus.
Too sexy
Welcome back to Herning, Denmark. It's day 3 of the 2018 World Hockey Championship. Nicholas Treutler gets the starting goal for Team Germany. Correct that, it's Timo Pielmeier in goal. They indicated that Treutler would start prior to the game, but it is Pielmeier who allowed 2 goals on 28 shots in the loss to Denmark in the opener in the shootout. Meanwhile, for Norway, it was an overtime defeat against Latvia in the opener, and the goaltender will be Henrik Haukelen, who was the backup in that game. He made 1 appearance at the Olympics in Pyeongchang, was in relief in the quarterfinals against the Olympic athletes of Russia, allowed 3 goals on 10 shots in that 6-1 loss. The last time these teams played the World Championship was in 2012. Norway won 12-4. Patrick Thoresen had 6 points in that game. There are 8 Norwegians back from that game. And Michaelis walks it and shoots, and that drive from Mark Michaelis goes off a stick up and out of play.
And Norway got up to a 2-0 lead on Latvia in their first game, ended up losing it in overtime. A late goal to tie it, and then they gave up the winner just 24 or 5 seconds into overtime. And Germany had a tying goal in the 3rd period to push their game to overtime. They went 0 for 5 in the shootout to lose to Denmark.
Germany 8th last year, 7th the year before. Norway's 13th straight year in the top group at the World Championship. Michaelis chips it ahead to Nobles, Marcel Nobles. And across the line, a bouncing puck gets right back to him, and Nobles can't get a shot away, and a hooking call coming out. It'll go to Mattis Olam, and the first power play of the game will go to Germany 40 seconds in.
German power play that didn't score, had a couple of chances in the first game, will go get an early opportunity as you see the hook of Olam, Mattis Olam, on Marcel Nobles. And of course Leon Draisaitl, like most things on this German team, will be the centerpiece of this power play.
Ehlers and Hager are the forwards. Yannick Seidenberg at the back end along with Matthias Plachta. Here is Plachta with it. Plachta plays it back to Yannick Seidenberg. A hard shot, the save made by Haukelen. He got bowled over there by Yasin Ehlers. Draisaitl to Hager. Back for Seidenberg. Plays it back across, and a hard shot by Plachta off the goalpost. Another puck cleared to the line and just out by Johan Johansson. Plachta winds in. Shakes off the slasher of Jonas Holos, the longtime Norwegian captain. Holos playing in his 13th World Championship.
He doesn't ease his way in. He plays big minutes. It was as high as 28 at the Olympics, played 23 in the opener.
Draisaitl lifts that back for Dennis Seidenberg, the German captain, lost the puck. Ken-Andre Olam back in front, scores! Short-handed goal for Ken-Andre Olam, and Norway's back on top.
Ken-Andre Olam had 7 of the 15 shots that Norway had in the opener. He makes a terrific play in the corner to push the puck off of Dennis Seidenberg. Seidenberg slow with the puck. Ken-Andre is able to take it from the corner to slide this to the front of the net. He gets a break as Pielmeier deflects the pass, but this is all Ken-Andre's effort. And Norway, like in the first game, a quick 1-0 lead in period 1.
Ken-Andre Olam, one of 20 players in this Norwegian roster who played in the Olympics in Pyeongchang. Mats Rosselli Olsen and Patrick Thoresen will be 2 notable omissions from that team.
And Seidenberg's got all kinds of time with the puck, and he has no option. He ends up just kind of hanging on to it. And as Pielmeyer deflected the puck, Ken-Andre Olam separated him from the puck and then jumps to the loose puck and makes it 1-0.
Ken-Andre Olam and his brother Mattis, who's in the penalty box, play for Linköping in the Swedish Hockey League. Their second year there. Ken-Andre Olam playing in his 9th World Championship. Mattis playing in his 11th.
28 points in 58 games now in the World Championships for Ken-Andre. He had a couple assists in Pyeongchang in the 5 games that he played there.
Norway lost that quarterfinal match in Pyeongchang to get knocked out of the tournament. As Cahoon works in. And that sharp angle shot goes wide. Still 40 seconds to go in the German power play. And now moved by Dennis Seidenberg and back down the ice.
Well, after things went so well for Germany at the Olympics, now they've got about 4 or 5 roster deletions, even though they've added Draisaitl, and things can get off the rails pretty quickly here. They look a little flustered early here against Norway.
5 players who played for them in the Olympics were hurt during the German playoffs. The likes of Patrick Reimer was a big part of their team.
Brooks Masick has gone home to Calgary at the end of his year. And that must have been a heck of a final.
Yeah. Munich defeated Berlin in 7 games. Danny Ostenberg, and the German goaltender, played for Munich in the playoffs, and after a 7-game final in the Olympics and the long year for him, he declined the invitation to play. Now swatted back down in the German zone, and Pielmeyer, but the hang on to that is Mattis Olam is out of the penalty box, and Norway not just survives, but takes the lead with a shorthanded goal from Ken-Andre Olam.
Teemu Pielmeyer has played 1 game in the National Hockey League in 2010. Gave up 5 goals on 12 shots against Anaheim. He was a San Jose draft pick. Now in his 5th year in the German Elite League, the DEL.
He was playing for St. Louis in that game and never saw the National Hockey League again. Now that shot from Valkve Olsen goes wide. Norway is a country that has been stuck in the middle in hockey for a lot of years, but if this game was being played on cross-country skis, it would be no contest. They're a powerhouse at that, and that centering pass just missed Nico Kramer. Now a centering pass from Valkve Olsen missed. That long shooting goes wide. Esplin drops it back, and a long shot from Valkve Olsen. And that is gloved by Pielmeyer.
In Norway with no Patrick Thoresen, who's been a long-time centerpiece to their team. Also no Matt Zuccarello, who was banged up towards the end of the New York Rangers season. And they're missing a defenseman, Matthias Norstabo, who's a name you might not be familiar with, but he's really good. He's poked around, hopes to go to North America after this coming season. Really good skater, and they'll miss him a lot.
It was Norstabo who scored the goal against France that got Norway into the Olympics. Both these teams narrowly qualified for Pyeongchang. Norway in its last game against France. The Germans beat Latvia in Riga with a third period goal to win that. Had the game gone to overtime, the Germans would not have qualified. And of course, Germany went that amazing run in Pyeongchang. Long shot by Mibus, and Oliver Mibus, who makes his 2018 World Championship debut, has that turned away and moves it back. Germany's last medal at the World Championship, 1953, was silver. Came close a few years ago, finishing 4th. That lead pass for Eilish missed. And back to pick it up is Bon Saxon. And play is called.
There's the initial penalty of Mattis Olam. And then on the power play, Germany ends up hitting the goalpost before the puck's cleared down the ice. Ken-Andre scores his brother Mattis, who's in the penalty box. Says, oh, thank you very much for saving me on that one. And Ken Andre's goal has given Norway a 1-0 lead.
Meantime in Copenhagen, Ricard Raquel has scored for Sweden, an early 1-0 lead.
That kid has turned into a good player. I believe he was 30th in the draft.
Yeah, I think he was drafted. That centering pass just missed. Did not pick the year they won the cup in 07. It might have been.
And he can really shoot the puck. He's creative, strong on it, drives it to the net. A good offensive player.
Lindstrom drops it back for Olam. And now Lindstrom lines in. Drops it back, and Von Saxon had the shot blocked. Now Von Saxon back for Holos. Jonas Holos, who spent some time in the NHL with Colorado. Plays it down to Ken Olam. And Yannick Seidenberg has it back. Hager works in. They bump to the corner. Now Hager feeds it back. Moritz Mueller has time. Winds and shoots. He was waiting for traffic to arrive. Knocked away by Hookland.
I was just thinking about Patrick Thorson saying no, he wasn't going to play. He's got to tell the coach he's not playing.
It's his dad. Tough.
That's a tough one.
And his brother who's on the team.
His brother might be happy because without Patrick, there's another spot. Although Stefan was on the Olympic team as well.
Petter Thorson played in 5 Olympics for Norway, the second hockey player to play in that many. Puck loose in the corner, tapped back by Christian Bull. And Bull goes ahead, now moved ahead by Eric Solstad. Loose in the corner. Played back in by Volkve Olsen. Volkve Olsen. And a poke checked away, and away comes Tiffels. Frederick Tiffels from the Western Michigan Bronco with a shot there, and we got too many men being called.
It's against Germany.
Yeah, so they'll be shorthanded, down 1-0 here in the first period.
Germany bench minor, too many men.
So moments after Norway scored shorthanded, it'll get a power play here as Marco Sturm's team Germany is called for too many men.
And there's an example perhaps of how tight that too many men is called. The Germans had the puck, they were on a rush. The too many men was behind the play, but it's too many men and they get called.
In the NHL, a lot more leeway.
Yeah, there's no way that would have been called at home.
Stefan Esplin drops that back for Mattis Olam. And Olam plays that rink wide. Volkve Olsen missed it. Volkve Olsen in the lineup now for Norway. Didn't play in game 1 against Latvia. A game in which Norway didn't trail until the overtime goal was scored by the Latvians. Mattis Olam. Poke check there. Mattis Olam at the age of 32. A 3-time Olympian as well for Norway. That hard shot taken by Lindstrom. Rebound, score! Volkve Olsen pokes it home, and it's 2-0 Norway.
power play goal and a shorthanded goal. Norway up 2-0. Valtve Olsen, who scored 23 goals rather, playing in the Allsvenskan this year. He's played there the last couple of years in Sweden. Right on the doorstep and knocks his rebound off of Timo Pielmeyer's pad. Lindstrom's shot is not controlled, and this puck's actually knocked out of the air. It hits a couple of inches up on his shaft of his stick, and the bunt has given Norway a 2-0 lead.
Oh, careful, careful. Spillage.
It's all right, they've had 11, so.
What's 10.5?
They'll be good.
And there's more here. It's not a good run out. Blacked off the side of the goal, that goes wide. Ricard Raquel has an assist now in the second Swedish goal. Been given to Matthias Janmark. By the way, he's dropped in the first round in 2011 by the Ducks out of the Ontario Hockey League.
The Czechs playing without Martin Nichas today.
Yeah,
Fine Carolina draft pick. Was injured after scoring a spectacular tying goal in the game yesterday.
Got tangled up with a Slovak netminder who's his teammate and best friend. They play together in Brno in the Czech League.
To look at the power play goal as Lindstrom had taken the pass from Mattis Olam, and his shot is not handled by Pielmeyer. Inside of the German defense, Valtve Olsen has set up shop and he's able to chip it in.
Plays for Södertälje, the Swedish Hockey League. A lot of the Norwegian players play over in Sweden, right next door. Now a centering pass knocked down by Pielmeyer. Puck still loose and a quick whack at it there, almost cashed home by Stefan Thoresen.
Certainly hasn't been a very inspiring 8 minutes here for Germany as they're down 2-0. In their first game, Petter Thoresen's team had a 2-0 lead in the first period. They had a goal by Anders Bastiansen, another by Alex Bonsaxen, and then they didn't get anything else. Had really a difficult time generating any shots. They had just 15 in the game.
Shot blocked. Norway's never won a medal at the World Championship. One of the major issues that Petter Thoresen has talked about is goaltending, and another penalty coming here. And this time it'll go against Norway, which scored shorthanded the first time around. Nicholas Rost will go off.
And Norway has Henrik Høkkeland in goal. He's a 23-year-old. As we get a look at the slashing penalty, and you mentioned goaltending for them for years. Lars Haugen has been their backstop, played almost every game, and there's just no one behind him. He's backing up today. But Høkkeland was the Allsvenskan, the Swedish second division's goaltender of the year this year. So to give him a look here today.
Fired down the ice by Tobias Lindstrom. Dennis Seidenberg. Up ahead for Mark Michaelis. Now Michaelis takes that return pass. Drops it to Dominic Cahoon. Cahoon. Shovels it back to Dennis Seidenberg. A little slap pass there, trying to find the stick of Tiffels. That missed, and now Eisenschmidt back with it. Tiffels. Lays it back down, and at the line, helped by Dennis Seidenberg. To Cahoon. For Michaelis, back to Cahoon. Slides it back to Dennis Seidenberg. His shot off the shin pad of Polos. And Ken Olam couldn't clear it out. Cahoon centers the tip right on. Høkkeland makes the stop. Rebound. Oh, what a save on Eisenschmidt. Høkkeland comes across, and the net's knocked off.
The net's knocked off because two German players got pile drived into it. What a chance for Marcus Eisenschmidt. We just talked about the goaltending, and this is a terrific save by Høkkeland, who makes a shoulder shrug save on the high tip, and then gets across to make the rebound save here. A little help defensively by Lindstrom, who gets his stick in front of Eisenschmied. Watch Lindstrom, 18, is gonna spin and get his stick onto the stick of Eisenschmied, but a fantastic effort in goal for Hochland to keep this game 2-0.
Off his heel, it looked like almost after the puck went through his legs. Close enough, but he keeps it out. Face off not done fairly, so Draisaitl will be tossed out. And Hager will take the draw now for Germany. Back at the clock reset. And fired back down the ice. Bielmeier waiting for it there. Yannick Seidenberg drops it back for Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl barrels his way in. Swings it rink wide for Hager. Yannick Seidenberg. Now Draisaitl back at the point. The pass out of his reach and back down to the German line. Draisaitl drops it off for Hager. Back at the point, Yannick Seidenberg for Ehlers. Aston Ehlers. Seidenberg back across and plucked. The shot goes wide. Ehlers back on it. Power play is over. Now another penalty coming to Norway. Hager in behind the goal. Hager got tied up. And now another penalty will go against Norway, leading Germany 2-0 here in the first.
Norway penalty number 37, 2-minute cross check.
William Strom goes off for Norway, a late addition to their roster. And you can keep adding players here as long as you have an open spot until the medal round. Germany presented with another power play chance here that scored on their first and didn't do much on their second. The power play was good at the Olympics, 6 for 26. And another shorthanded chance there for Norway. And timely. Beat Norway in the shootout, beat Switzerland in overtime, then beat Sweden in overtime in the quarterfinals, beat Canada 4-3 in the semis, and then had that late lead in the gold medal game against the Olympic athletes from Russia. Gave up a late tying goal shorthanded, then the overtime winner. And it's Seidenberg back for Cahoon. As you mentioned, Ray signed with Chicago last month. And Cahoon in shoots. He fired that wide. And Cahoon talking yesterday about the fact that he will have to train this summer like never before.
I'm sure that was made clear to him by the Blackhawks that it's one reason, or there's one way to train for the season you have in Germany. Of course, the North American season is far more physical, far more demanding. You're far busier than you would be. The German league, the DEL, plays 50 games as opposed to 82 back home.
He lets a centering pass there. Blocked the taps it across, and a hard shot by Hager, turned away by Hochland. Draisaitl feeds it back, clock to the drive. Hochland save. Ehlers digging for the rebound, but Hochland has it.
Plachta gets a lot on this shot, and Hochland's able to move from his right to his left to make the stop. As Germany now more than halfway through their third power play of this first period. This is really their best chance on it. As Hochland's able to get across to stop it once and then stop it twice on Matthias Plachta.
Seconds to go on the power play. Draisaitl wins the draw back to Plachta. Across he goes to Yannick Seidenberg. Works it back down low. Seidenberg plays both forward and defense for the German team. Back to Plachta. Across to Yannick Seidenberg for Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl, final seconds down on the power play. Threw that towards the goal. Hager centers it. Here's Plachta, sends it back. Seidenberger's shot. Blocked in front. Rebound. Huckman makes the save on Ehlers. Puck still loose, and Plachta couldn't get to it. And it's coming out of the penalty box. Strome knocked that away. And now Norway ices it with tired penalty killers on the ice.
A little bit of a scramble around the front of the net. You see Patrick Hager limping off the ice. His point shot hits him in the ankle. Hager's 50 in front of the net. He keeps the play alive, and then he's going to get back to the front. Ouch. Yet they almost get to the rebound as Ehlers shot the first one, then Hager on his backside shoveled the second one towards the net, and Hochland was able to stop that too.
Hager was Germany's leading point getter at the Olympics with 7 points in 7 games.
Really a missed opportunity here for Germany with 3 first-period power plays.
And you're down the goal on allowing a short-handed goal. Shots are 9-5 in favor of Germany, but down 2-0. Rivera works in with Piella. Rivera in shoots, and Hochland makes a stop on that. And is able to hang on. 6:33 to go here in the period.
Well, they were set up pretty good there for Rivera to keep that puck low, make Hochland try to control the rebound, but he got it up a little higher, and the Norwegian goaltender Hochland was able to swallow it up. With the limited number of players available from that Olympic team, Marco Sturm just has so few options up front. You have to kind of hope the lines you put together are going to score for you. You don't have the variety of players that you can move around.
Several players for Germany announced their retirement for the national team after the Olympics, including NHL veteran Christian Ehrhoff.
Quite a retirement he's got ahead of him.
Yes, the Buffalo Sabres will be paying him $857,000 a year until 2025.
That's a good buyout plan.
I would not play for Buffalo for a lot less than that. Dennis Seidenberg shoots, that goes wide.
Another penalty.
Yeah, wow, so Germany's going back on the power play. 5:45 to go. In the first period, the Germans will get another chance on the man advantage.
Normandy penalty, 2-minute hook.
Peter Thorson's team has a 2-0 lead in the first period thanks to a short-handed goal and even strength marker, but now facing another German power play here in the first.
Well, they're tempting the fates here. This is 4 of them in the first 14 minutes.
Germany has 10 shots in the game, 5 on the power play. A couple of dandy saves by Henrik Hochland. As Eilish picks that free back to Plachta. Cross he goes to Draisaitl. Draisaitl to the goal mouth. Hager turned away. Pad save, rebound, score! Looked like Hager got the last touch. And Germany's on the board, down 2-1.
Almost none of this first period played at even strength. It's either Hager or Eilitz that's going to get the goal. Germany wins the puck battle. Eilitz helps out on the face-off, and he's going to get to the front of the net. Look at Hager stacked higher in the slot and then sliding to the goal line. He's going to come out and attack the front of the net. Stopped once by Hockland. This is actually going to be Hager's goal.
Yeah, because Bunt Saxon put in his own net.
A heck of a shot from that far out. Look at Bunt Saxon. 47, he's going to get to this puck. Oh, it's not Bunt Saxon, it's Stefan Thoresen who goes to clear it. So it's...
They're giving the goal to Eilers. It'll be Hager's, though, once they review it. Balkby Olsen, a long shot, knocked away. Well, maybe not the prettiest goal, but the Germans could take one over again at this point, now down 2-1. And Draisaitl throws it back to center ice. In soccer, they actually put the name of the player on the score sheet that put the ball in his own net. Yeah, it's really...
You think it's unjust?
No, not unjust, but
harsh.
Salt in the wound, kind of.
Booted it or headed it into his own net. You should know who it is.
Long drive pass, but knocked away. And now Eilish off the glass and back out. Race for it now, icing way down. And back to Strong. Center knocked down by Kramer, who flips it back in. Knocked down. Kramer feeds it ahead. Shot wide. By Pio. Rivera pivots back in the corner. Rivera sends it. Just missed Kramer with that. Now Bjorn Krug with it. These guys who don't play the power play on the bench for much of this first period for Germany. As O'Hara works in. Mueller centers it. That triple just wide. Hoffman lost track of it. And Stefan Espen picks it back up, plays it to center.
There's the rebound of this last shot, and you see Hockland's looking around for it. He's got no idea where it is before Esplin is able to corral it, get it out of the front of the net. So Hager from Draisaitl is the last goal.
Cahoon wins that face-off back to Hager. Moritz Mueller moves in. Almost hook check that away from him. And Olam got body slam there by Hager. And now Mattis Olam back with it. Rink wide he goes for Holos. Holos shoots, he fired that just wide. Here's Lindstrom. In behind the goal. Centered, and Lindstrom with a great chance there, and Pielmauer makes a great point-blank save on a terrific setup for Tobias Lindstrom.
That's a nice cycle as Olam's rolled the puck around below the goal line, and Lindstrom walks into this and tries to go up over top of the left shoulder of Pielmauer, and good stop for the German netminder to keep this game 2-1.
Christian Forsberg for the face-off, won though by Draisaitl. Corbinian Holzer sends that ahead, back down to the Norwegian zone. The one thing we saw from the Germans at the Olympics, relentless. Forecheck, speed.
Never back off.
And a long shooter by Forsberg, gloved by Pielmeyer.
Get another look at Patrick Hager's power play goal as he comes out from behind the net. The puck spins towards the front, and as Thorson's trying to clear it, he actually puts it through the legs of his goaltender, Henrik Hagelin.
Shots are 14-8 Germany here in the period, thanks in large part to the power plays.
4 of them for Germany.
Plachta takes that pass from Draisaitl, wrists that wide. And now Plachta feeds it across to Dennis Seidenberg. His shot goes wide. Still stuck on the back of the net and battle away for it. Draisaitl works it free for Ehlers. Back in front, Ehlers, a backhand shot. And that goes just wide. Hockman might have got a piece on the way by. Roy Mark chips that back to center. Draisaitl picks up the loose puck. Lead pass to Michaelis. Hook trick there by Johan Johansson. And Michaelis back for it. Michaelis plays for Minnesota State Mankato in the NCAA. As Tipples works in and shoots, that was blocked. Shot in by Esplin. Pass to Michaelis, works in, shoots, scores! Mark Michaelis ties the game, snapping it by Hockland.
Quick shot from Michaelis, who had 18 goals in Mankato this year. A sophomore at Mankato State. But this is a terrific pass here in the neutral zone. Marcel Noble's backhand pass across the ice. It gives Michaelis about 5 strides to skate into. Oh, this shot's deflected too. And Norway's goalkeeper, Henrik Hagelin's not getting any help at all. 1 goal, the first one put into his own net by Stefan Thorson. This one was deflected by his defender. And it's 2-2. The first 5-on-5 goal of this first period.
Michaelis played the United States Hockey League before going to college. Now Morris Mueller in fires and Hockman makes a save on that. He just got it. The puck trickled wide. That's the second time in this period that Hockman's lost track of the puck. That time it just missed. Now makes that save and the rebound cleared away by Holos. Moritz Mueller keeps it alive in the corner. Holos has it back. Tied up by Eisenschmidt.
Norway led 2-0 in their first game, as they did tonight. They've given that lead up as well.
Love down by Mattis Olim. The Ken Olim with that shorthanded goal earlier in the first period. His centering pass picked up by Mattis Olim. And Andre spins and shoots, and that's off the stick of Dennis Seidenberg, up and out of play.
Bit of a wild period, 4 times short-handed for Norway. There's the save Hagelin made on the last attempt, that one by Moritz Mueller. He gets out, shrugs up his left shoulder. It's a good battle to the side of the net. As the Germans were kept away from that rebound.
Moritz Mueller, the 31-year-old, plays for Cologne in the German Elite League. He has been there since he was 16 years old. In Europe, most professional teams have youth programs that you work your way through into the professional ranks. And some, like Moritz Mueller, will just stay. Draisaitl, also a native of Cologne. He came to the German lineup after Edmonton was knocked out last year. The headline in the Cologne paper said, "The king is here." Peter was a German international for a long time.
Get a look at the tying goal. Previous 3 goals scored on the power play. There's the shot from Michaelis that is deflected, coming back into position. Is Von Saxon, and this puck deflects off his stick. Oh, a high five and a kiss. Isn't that cute?
Don't look at me, pal.
Stay over where you are.
Final seconds here of the period, so the Norwegians grab the early lead. Germany storms back, and 2-2 is the score through 1 period of play. Our first intermission coming up from the 2018 World Hockey Championship.
Shots on goal, Team Norway 8, Team Germany 17. Playing in Royal Arena, Team Sweden 2, Czech Republic 0. Simply clever.
Følg med i BT og på BT.dk, når vi dækker ishockey-VM 2018. Vi holder dig opdateret døgnet rundt og giver dig selvfølgelig også masser af unikt indhold. Du får eksklusive interviews og portrætter af de store danske stjerner, spillernes egne historier direkte fra landsholdslejren og de vigtigste VM-nyheder. Kom helt tæt på ishockey-VM 2018, BT og på BT.dk. BT, med på isen fra start til slut.
For his kingdom. And what about you? Yeah, show us what's in yours. And choose only the best that Czech lands offer. Go and simply follow your heart. Only this way will you find your own kingdom. Yeah, your kingdom. I was not hard.
conviction and determination I need every day. The years of training, pushing myself to be the strongest, the sharpest. My dedication to the game, to my teammates who are counting on me to deliver. The nerves of steel, the preparation and ritual before the adrenaline of the match. The responsibility of being my best every time, prepared to fight every shift on the ice. This is not just a sport. This is who I am.
Minute in der Kabine.
Jetzt haben wir noch 3.
So eine Beule.
Kom igjen, gutta! Gå ut og krige for hverandre her nå! Kom igjen, da! Gutta, kom igjen, gutta! Her! Hold oss på isen, da. Jævlig bra. Hold oss her. Kom igjen.
Der Scheiß in die Hose. Warum? Wieder ein Spiel? Aber kein Scheiß. Ich finde es gut, Mann. Machst du Hobby. Oder den einen so bearbeitet hast, als der Arbeit. Ja. Komm, Boys, auf geht's, auf geht's! Okay.
Join the fans zone before and after each game. Music, food, entertainment, and lots of fun.
A good start for Norway in the opening period. Ken Olam scored a shorthanded goal early on. They grabbed a 2-0 lead, but Germany battles back. And it's a 2-2 tie through the opening period between two teams that will likely be on the bubble to make the quarterfinals. You got to finish top 4 to get there.
Well, Norway took 4 penalties in that first period, and if they're going to stay in the game, they can't continue to go to the box. I mean, they just killed any potential thrust they would have offensively, and Ken-Andre Olmum scored a shorthanded goal. They scored on the power play as well, 5-on-5, very little accomplished. Yet here we are, 2-2 starting period 2.
And the team started even strength. By the way, if you see the referees skate through and it looks like they're wearing cowboy hats, they're not. They both have cameras on, but they're not exactly mini cams. In fact, the transmission package of the camera weigh close to 2 pounds. So a sturdy neck required for that. They give you some good looks, but streamlining might be in order.
That's next year's development.
If you can put a camera in the tip of a pen, surely you can do better than this.
The back part of it is gigantic.
That shot bounced off Hochland again. That's a couple of times we've seen that in the game where Hochland's lost track of the puck. Ken Olam winds his way in. He and his brother Mathis go back to work. Drop back in that long point shot taken there by Daniel Sorvik. And the save made by Timo Bielmeier. Matthias Plackett drops it back. Elias shoots, and a good pant save there as Hochland kicked out the right leg.
If I'm Marco Sturman, I'm telling my guys on the German bench, there are rebounds there. When we shoot the initial shot, make sure we head towards the net because there's pucks that have been left out by Hochland the entire evening.
Sorvik plays it back to center. Draisaitl knocks it down. And here's Eric Salston with it. Centering pass, Salston plays it back across, score! Anders Bastiansen, and Norway's back on top.
The 37-year-old Bastiansen has now scored in back-to-back games. Captain of his team here in Norway and Frisk Asker. Turnover in the middle of the ice and quickly spun up the ice by Salston. He and Valkve Olsen play give and go, and this is a terrific pass by Salston right on the backhand in front of Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl meandering his way back into the play. And Norway's got 3. Their first at even strength, and Anders Bastiansen has given them a 3-2 lead.
They've scored in the first 2 minutes of both the first and second period. Bastiansen playing in his 13th World Championship for Norway.
What a nice play by Salston in the middle. He started it, got it out wide to Valkve Olsen, and then when Valkve Olsen slid it back to him, he put a beauty on the tape of Bastiansen as Marco Sturm looks at his team down 2-0, back to 2-2.
Big hit there at center ice by Bjorn Krupp, who knocks down Ludvig Hoff. Hoff plays sparingly for Norway. He was good at the Olympics for them, though, when he did play. He throws that on goal and got away from Pielmeyer for a moment. Hoff plays at North Dakota in the NCAA. But despite having some good bursts for the Norwegians at the Olympics, he is mostly parked on the bench. Played 1 minute and 29 seconds in the first period. Dominic Cahoon. Forced back by Tretinez. Tretinez plays in the German league. And now Rust moves in. So a player like Tretinez would not be considered an import in the German league after the so-called Bosman ruling that athletes from EU countries cannot be considered foreigners in another EU country. So the only foreign players counted in the German league are players from outside the EU, which means they allow 10 imports per team, and it doesn't count Norwegians, Swedes, and others. Kramer across the Pieta. That long shot goes off the skate of Von Saxon and picked up by Holos. Lead pass for Lindstrom. Works in, plays that back across. Lindstrom crisscrossing there with Mattis Olem, gives him the puck. Back to Lindstrom. Tried to wind back in. It was poke checked away and moved up the ice by Pieta.
I kind of like Tobias Lindstrom, Gord. We haven't seen him at any of the events. This is his first international play for Norway, and he seems to be a good fit here with the Olem brothers.
Now Ken Olem plays it back across. Mattis Olem in, shoots, and Pielmeyer got a piece of that. Odd that a 30-year-old Norwegian would have no experience for the national team at any level.
That strikes me as odd, that it's not like they have hundreds of players to choose from. I like he's got some good instincts.
Stefan Esplin back on it. Norway has been to the World Junior a few times. Last appeared in 2015, relegated in the last 4 appearances of the juniors. We've talked about this before, that the World Junior is a tough tournament for smaller countries. With the age restriction, you must be under 20. And Johan Johansson with a shot that pinballs around in front, so the small player pool becomes microscopic for them.
And in plenty of cases, they qualify, and then everybody ages out, and they send an inexperienced team the next year.
Germany was relegated in 2015 and hasn't been back to the World Junior since. In fact, 2 years ago, almost got relegated from the second level at the World Junior. Back at the point, Johansson a shot that's deflected wide. Pielmeyer gets the blocker down. And out the other side it goes to Dennis Seidenberg. Knocked down there by Johansson. And the puck loose in the corner to Michaelis, who has one of the German goals. Plays it back across to Draisaitl. Now Bjorn Krupp, a long shot, gloved by Hoagland, and he'll hang on.
Michaelis had the second goal for Germany to tie the game up, and after Leon Draisaitl turned the puck over in the middle of the ice for Germany, he didn't take another stride really, and that's his guy that is Andreas Bastiansen, and Anders Bastiansen makes it 3-2 off the Draisaitl turnover in the middle of the ice, and then a turnaround rush that turned on a beautiful pass from Salston to Bastiansen.
Takes off in the Norwegian zone. Plakta against Christian Forsberg. And there's Holos back with it. Played 9.5 minutes in the opening period, as you said, Ray.
Every time we see him, he's putting in a marathon shift. And you can imagine how many minutes this is over the 7 games for him packed in together.
At the Olympics, he was the runaway leader in ice time per game. No one even close to it. Holos shoots, so that's gloved by Bielmeier.
The older captain for Norway, he played forever.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Johansson? Oh, I can't remember. This guy was on the ice forever. Whenever Norway played, he went back on the ice. He was 26, 27, 28 minutes a night.
Tommy Jakobsen.
Tommy Jakobsen played well late into his 30s. Remember him from the Olympics in Vancouver, and year after year he was in the game and a central figure of it. Now it's Jonas Holisch that's going to be on the ice.
Well, in a country where hockey would rank 3rd to 4th.
Norway bench minor face-off violation.
Oh, there you go, the face-off violation. First time we've seen it called here, where 2 centers got kicked out. And so now Germany goes back on the power play.
So there's the Lindstrom kicked out. Now Mattis Ohlum.
Who is the center?
That's, okay, he gets burned on this. The linesman almost fake drops it. His hand moves. As soon as his hand moves, he's got to release the puck. Ohlum's banking on the puck coming out of there. I guess it's Ohlum's fault, but he didn't get any help there.
Yannick Seidenberg shoots, and Hoagland makes the stop.
5th power play for Germany. They're even on their power play. They have a power play goal and have given up a shorthanded goal.
I don't want to stereotype you, but I would honestly pay money to see you get tossed out of a face-off and it cost your team a penalty. If they put that rule in the NHL when you were playing, I would pay money to. You hated linesmen to begin with.
Well, because in actuality, it's their fault.
Plakta shoots and it goes wide. Okay.
Get the thing on the ice. Like, nobody's here to watch you hold on to it. That's what we would always argue. But in that case, Mattis Ohlum, he's going on the first movement of the linesman's hand, and as soon as his hand flexes, if that puck doesn't come out, he's in trouble. And he was. And now he is. Last time he was in the box, his brother scored.
Draisaitl back to Yannick Seidenberg to Plakta. To Yannick Seidenberg. Matthias Plakta winds and shoots. He powdered that wide. Plakta can really bring it. 26-year-old who plays for Mannheim in the German league. Draisaitl. Back to Plakta. Feeds it back across. Tip back in front. Across to Draisaitl. Back to Plakta. Draisaitl to the goal line. Hager mishandled it. Pokes it around to Yannick Seidenberg. Back for Hager. To Draisaitl. Centers it, and that pass just missed Ehlers. And the puck leaves the zone. Dennis Seidenberg got to leave it there as the Germans were changing. Draisaitl snaps that pass rink wide for Hager. Hager flips it back for Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl, the Edmonton Oilers, back to Hager. Backhands it back in front. Hoagland and scores! Hager on the rebound, and Germany ties it up again.
Power play goals for Patrick Hager. Hager had 15 goals this year in Munich. 3 goals and 4 assists this year at the Olympics in Pyeongchang. And he's a dogged player around the front of the net. He stays on this rebound of Hochland. And the German power play, 2 for 5 as he gets inside a hole-ish. Hochland can't control the rebound, man. We talked about this earlier. Although this one is Saxon actually ends up shooting it off his pad. There's lots of loose pucks. He's had on all 3 goals now as I think about it. The first one was an own goal.
Yep.
The second one, his defenseman.
Another chance in front. Kielmeyer turns away, can't hold him.
His defenseman deflected it past him. And this third one, Saxon shoots, clears it out right onto the stick of Hager, and it's 3-3.
12:18 to go here in the second period. Patrick Hager, the 29-year-old veteran of EHC Munich in the German League, which has won the last 3 German League titles. I mentioned led the Germans in points at the Olympic Games. They didn't score a ton, did the Germans in Pyeongchang, but they scored at the right times for the most part.
I found them, maybe not surprisingly, just incredibly scrappy. That they looked like they were out of games. They just fought, and then there was a little belief built in.
Look out, Kielmeyer's lost track of the puck, and now it's picked up by Nobles.
This game might turn on somebody making a save.
Now, every player on the German team at the Olympics played in their league. Hochland makes that stop on Cahoon. A little different here. A couple of NHL players sprinkled in.
The other difference is some of the big boys are here playing, and changes the whole look of the tournament.
Ken Olin walks in, rattles that high off the glass. If Pittsburgh gets knocked out, Tom Kuhnhackl could come for the Germans. Dominic Cahoon.
If San Jose gets eliminated, would the United States look to Joe Pavelski? I'm sure they'd look to him. It's whether Joe would decide to come. They're playing game 6 of their series against Vegas.
Down 3-2 in that series. Long shot by Tretnaz got blocked.
Boston becomes a factor if they can't extend their series.
And potentially Nashville if Winnipeg closes them out. Rivera.
Well, I'm just starting to put the players together there, and you're like, man, there's only so many roster spots.
And the rebound in front. Hochland makes the stop. Rivera digging for it. And Moritz Mueller shoots. Hochland eats that up, and there's a mad pileup. At the bottom of it is Sebastian Rivera for Germany. Under a pile of red. Looks like they threw their laundry on him.
I was just thinking, I guess that's what the inside of a blender looks like. There's people flying all over the place. This would be solved at some point if Hochland could get his hands on this. Anytime the puck hits him, it's like a backboard. It just comes off him and it's loose again. And this wild scramble ensues as Mueller's shot somehow makes it back to him. Turned aside as we near the halfway point of the game, tied at 3.
Draw one by Draisaitl. A block to get hammers it on goal. The pad save made by Hockland. Elich with it. He was tied up by Christian Forsberg. The Germans hollering for a penalty there. Czechs have cut the Swedish lead to 2-1, scoring on a 5-on-3 in Copenhagen. Came back against the Slovaks last night. Tied up late in regulation and won it in overtime. There's Pielmeyer the save on Holos. And now Plachta has it back. He goes to Jonas Mueller, and Bjorn Krupp, the son of IIHF Hall of Famer Uwe Krupp, plays it back. Uwe Krupp was the first German-born player to have his name inscribed on the Stanley Cup. Went on to become the head coach of the German national junior team and then the men's team. An imposing defenseman to score the Stanley Cup winning goal for Colorado in 1996 in overtime against the Florida Panthers.
I played with the big boy in Long Island for a few years. I was still racing dogs then, the dog sledder. Should have seen those dogs. They were pumped to pull Yui on the sled.
Sure. Eric Solston with a chance there. Still 3-3 here in the second. Those fans in the end zone will stand the entire game. They'll clap and chant and sing and dance.
The exhaustion level of European fans is at a level we don't understand. Now, of course, they've started far before the 4:15 locals.
Which you get more points for that. I mean, they've been outside. It's 25 degrees Celsius outside. They've been out there in the hot sun drinking for 4 hours before this game. Then they stand up the whole game, and then when it's over, they'll go back out there and drink some more.
Well, because it's cooler then, right?
Well, I gotta say, after that for 3 hours, a cold beer might be
really good. And
Seidenberg works in, and tonight Finland takes on Latvia here in a meeting of two of the more energetic fan bases in world hockey. Hager sends it back. Eisenschmidt half fan on that. And pinballed wide. And here's Sorvik with it. By the way, this melody, I believe, is sung in every hockey arena and soccer stadium in every country in Europe. Shoot in from Eisenschmidt, handled by Hockland, and now some pushing and shoving breaks out again.
Now we're tied at 3 here. Germany has given up a shorthanded goal, but they have 2 power play goals. That one is an own goal. Hager came out from behind the net, very similar to this, and he stays with the puck. The first one shot into the net by Stefan Thoresen. This one's a rebound. He flails away at it and smacks it in past Henrik Hockland to tie this game at 3. Now, aside from the festivities outside, right next door is the soccer stadium where there's a game tonight.
Yes.
And so I would say the festivities will grow as the evening continues. They're expecting a full house.
Full long shot, glove there.
Looks like about 25 or 30,000 fit into that stadium next door.
Soccer would be the top sport here in Denmark, as it is obviously in Germany. Marco Sturm scored more goals in the National Hockey League than any German-born player in the league's history.
938 games for Sturm. He came back from a terrible broken leg.
And then an awful knee injury. Got it shredded in a knee-on-knee collision.
Very popular teammate, very popular guy as well. He's done a terrific job here with the German program. He's re-energized it. They've really fallen on some harder times. They challenge for their athletes once they get past 14 or 15 and you've got to settle into one sport. They run into a pretty good roadblock or two in Germany.
Well, not just soccer. Handball's huge in Europe.
Tennis.
This arena is built for handball. Stefan Thorsen has that pass blocked. And now played back across to Von Saxon. 7 to go here in the second period. A 3-3 tie. Norway has led 2-0 and 3-2.
Ouch. That shot hit Michaelis in the back of the head. He's going back to the bench.
And that shoot-in handled by Pielmeyer will hang on with 6:48 to go.
You always hear drive to the front of the net. Michaelis dropped the puck off onto the wing and the shot came, got deflected, hit him right in the back of the helmet. There he goes, 65. Tiffel shoots the puck, the deflection is there, and whap, right in the back of the head. They're taking a look at him on the bench here, and that's gonna leave a mark. Not so much up here or down here, kind of right here. That would hurt.
For those of you at home who can't see Ray, he pointed to the middle of his neck.
Yeah, that's a little old Tommy boy right there for you.
6.5 to go here in the period. And Mavis knocked down. Brought in now by Tommy Christensen. And there's Mavis back with it. Sebastian Avera sends that in. And now Sorvik. Along to Matazolov. Drink wide for Roymark. In shoots. He fired that wide. And Dennis Seidenberg plays it around. Picked off by Ken Olam. Slides that back at the point. That shot taken by Christian Bull was blocked. Dennis Seidenberg throws it back in front, and Holzer brings it ahead for Germany. Corbinian Holzer shields off Ken Olam. Had a hold of his stick for a moment. Olam was calling for a penalty. And Bull back to pick it up. Christian Bull plays for Storhammer in Norway. Turns the puck over. Ehlers drops it back. Pocket back in front. Just missed Ehlers with that pass. And the puck rattles off the glass. Up and out of play with 5:17 to go here in the second period. Mark Michaelis looks no worse for wear on the German bench after taking that puck in the back of the head. And from the German section, we look on and see Draisaitl step into the faceoff in the Norwegian zone. There's Bastiansen, who has one of the Norwegian goals. Chris, you haven't called Norway Denmark yet this afternoon.
Why would you do that? here I am. I've gotten through this whole tournament so far without one of those mistakes. Now, they do play each other, which
May
is...
11th, we're doing the game.
I know, you just can't wait for that.
Get yourselves a bag of popcorn, folks. Settle in and get comfortable with the score pad.
That I think people should keep track of, how many times I confuse the teams.
Icing call against Norway here with 4:50 to go.
Alexander Bonsaxon looks like he's hurt his foot. He just said, I can't feel my foot. Get a look at Bonsaxon in front of the net.
Oh, the puck hit it.
Oh, I see what he's doing. It was an icing call, and he's trying to get off the ice, and so he had to sell his case to the official.
Asplund off the face-off win, plays it around for Valkve Olsen. And two German players collided, Yannick Seidenberg and Moritz Mueller, and Mueller is slow to go back to the German bench.
Well, Seidenberg had read that play. He was going to come from the dark side to put the body on, and he ended up running into his defense partner.
And Mueller's in distress on the German bench. Christian Forsberg works it ahead. Centers it there for Stefan Thoresen. Thoresen drops it back for Asplund. Asplund back at the point. Sorberger's shot, and the save made by Pielmeyer.
Here's the play they run face to face. Seidenberg shorter than Mueller. Mueller's 6'2", Seidenberg's about 5'7", and you see his top of his helmet runs right into Mueller's face. Oh. The converted defenseman Moritz Mueller's played almost 700 games in the DEL, 125 internationally for them.
Pass tapped back there by Nicholas Roast. And Plachta back with it. Now brought back by Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl. That pass too hot for Holtz with the handle. And now Plachta back with it. Holzer back for it. Corbinian Holzer, a wraparound try, stopped by Hockman, and Draisaitl just missed on the rebound.
That's got to be the closest Corbinian Holzer's been to the opposition net in a long time. That was a really strong move.
Now the shooting, gloved by Pielmeyer.
Holzer is an insurance plan, it seems like, in Anaheim.
Yep.
Played just 16 times this year. Played as well in the American League a little bit, but they like him because they can plug him in if somebody gets hurt. Gives them a real stable, simple game, but offense is not part of the deal.
Didn't score this year. Just plays, you mentioned the 16 games. He was a healthy scratch 65 times. That's a lot of extra skating in the morning.
I know the first thought is, well, he's getting NHL money, and that's, it's great, which it is. But man, that's a long year like that. Your day is work out in the morning, skate in the morning, come back to the rink, work out in the afternoon, put your suit on and watch a game. You'd say it's not a terrible way, and it's not, but there's got to be a lot more fun ways to play, and that's where guys start to come back home to play.
2.5 to go here. Canada back in action tomorrow against Denmark. Ryan Rashog reporting that it'll be Frederik Andersen versus Curtis McElhaney in goal. Andersen for Denmark, and McElhaney for Canada. By the way, Ryan Rashog traces his family roots back to Norway.
Found out what his name meant.
Rice Heat.
Which is by now, as you should know, his new nickname.
Oh, for sure it is. Guaranteed.
I'll tell you, old Rice Heap does some great bench side interviews,
old
doesn't
heap
he?
of rice, yep. What does Ferraro mean in Italian?
Fast.
Does it?
I don't know, I just made that up.
Totally. You sold it well.
Yeah. Well, it's been called worse, I'll say that. I'm really excited Italy's back next year.
Yeah. It's funny, you know, in the 90s when I first started doing this tournament and the residency rules were different, then the Italian bus would pull up and half the guys getting off it would be Canadian.
I remember in the Olympics in Torino, Jason Mazzotti was the goaltender.
Yeah. Paul Di Pietro played a long time for Switzerland under those same kind of rules. The rules have been tightened somewhat. The Italian league used to be really good too.
Right.
Yari Curry played in it.
They paid really good money. More Canadians were able to play there because of the lax rules. Now it's just not as attractive an option.
Asplund winds in. They used to get star players from all over Europe to play in the Italian league. Now back at the point. That shot wired wide by Christian Forsberg. Forsberg gets it back. Walks it and shoots. He fired that way wide. Bull. Down low to Stefan Thoresen. Now picked up by Pieta. Plays around for Kramer. And Bull couldn't hold the line for Norway. Thoresen sends that rink wide. The bouncing puck was right to the stick of Ludwig Hoff, but the play is called offside at the German line.
Inside of the last minute of this second period, what's turned out to be a very entertaining game, 3-3. Germany a couple of power play goals, Norway a power play goal and a shorthanded goal.
I always wonder what Petter Thoresen is writing. Every stoppage he writes something. Terry Chris, who coached in the NHL for a long time, as you know, in Calgary, had notebooks. He kept every game, and he kept them in a box. He kept all the notebooks in a box. And someone asked him, like, why do you keep that? So it's very important. I refer to it all the time. They took the box and hid it. He didn't notice for like 6 months.
Very important. They always write notes to themselves so they remember something that happened, something they want to talk to a player about, which is why you see coaches on bad teams have full notebooks back there.
They have the full spiral notebook.
I can't imagine what Kurt Fraser would have had to carry back there in Atlanta for us.
He used to look down at the bench all the time at the players like he was expecting a different name.
Yeah, it wasn't going to happen.
You just see the same names over and over again and be surprised. Who's behind the goal is Hager. Plays it off the back of the net. 30 seconds to go in the period. Hager banks it back to Holzer. Swings it down to Cahoon. Dominic Cahoon moves away from Ken Olem, centers it. And now picked up by Dennis Seidenberg. A little back pass in front. And Cahoon back to Hager. His shot off the stick of Seidenberg, up and out of play.
Seidenberg had engaged into the cycle. He deflects it. It goes up into the netting.
What a rock rib defenseman he's been in the National Hockey League for 15 seasons.
Hard guy to play against. He's been, time has got him a little bit here. He doesn't move as well as he used to at age 36, but he could skate. He could play top 4 minutes, which he did when Boston won the Stanley Cup. They rode that top 4 all the way to a Game 7 victory against Vancouver. And Seidenberg could put up points. He killed penalties. He could be a matchup guy 5-on-5. Has had an excellent career, and to come to the World Championships, gets to play with his brother here.
Didn't get to play in the Olympics, and that was disappointing for him that the two of them, Germany didn't qualify in 2014. So a real disappointment that they weren't able to play together in Pyeongchang. 3-3 the score through 40 minutes. Here are the 2018 Worlds. Our second intermission is coming up.
Team Germany 3, Team Norway 3. Shots on goal. Team Germany 13, Team Norway 12. In Royal Arena, standing after the second period, Team Sweden 2, Czech Republic 1.
It's not about the blade. It's the shaving gel that matters. Nivea Men Ultra Glide technology for an ultra close shave without irritating your skin. Nivea Men, the art of shaving.
Introducing the 2018 IIHF app. Player statistics. Team statistics. Live updates. And introducing Guessing Game. Predict each game's final score. Win points and compete with hockey fans around the world. From any smart device, in your own language. The 2018 IIHF app, powered by Škoda. Download it now from the Apple App Store and Google Play.
Škoda. Simply clever.
Nature is affected by our behavior, our ambitions, and our choices. The world is changing, and we're becoming more aware that we must make choices to protect the environment.
Auf geht's!
Welcome back to Herning, Denmark in the third period between Germany and Norway. Petter Thorson's team has had a 2-0 lead, a 3-2 lead. Only see Germany come back twice to tie it.
Germany should be sharp here in the first minute of the third period.
Norway scored in the first minute of the first and the first minute of the second. Henrik Hogg has allowed 3 goals on 29 shots so far in his first start of this tournament. Henrik Hogg has one of the goals for Germany. One of these two teams needs to put together a run to get to the quarterfinals. Top 4 teams in each 8-team group. When there's a view from the referee's helmet cam. Oh, steady there, fella.
Hold on.
Well, he might have lost his balance. As you mentioned, that camera's an extra 2 pounds heavier on the helmet.
One of the officiating supervisors who told us about it said it weighs 800 grams. We had to...
We're like, yeah, that's nice. How heavy is that?
How many stones is that? Now a centering pass. Goes back to the point. Yannick Seidenberg shoots. A bullet shot goes wide. And Mark Michaelis couldn't cash on the rebound.
This has turned into a really entertaining game. There's been enough chances, enough odd things that happen to make it fun to see how this turns out. These are important points, as you mentioned, Gord, for these two countries.
Daniel Sorvik back for it. And his shot goes off the foot of Marcel Nobles. In comes Ken Olam, bowls his way and then shoots. A pad save made by Pielmeyer. And now IIHF has it back for Germany. 3-1, Sweden now leads on the Czech Republic. Mika Zibanejad has scored early in the third period to give the Swedes their 2-goal lead back. And the Swedes, as much as anyone, will be watching the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. They've got players on all 8 teams in contention for the most part. That would be part of their potential roster to be added here. Seidenberg across to IIHF. Knocked back in by Solston. And Valkve Olsen got rattled in the corner. Now Plachta has it back. He's got Draisaitl with him. Rink wide pass for Leon Draisaitl, and Bull stayed with him as Forsberg gathers up the loose puck. Slides it ahead to Johan Johansson. And now Pielmeyer plays that around. Forsberg knocked down hard there by Bjorn Krupp. Eisenschmidt tries to knock that ahead. It's picked up by Cahoon. Chips it up for Hager. And Cahoon shovels that across to Jonas Mueller. Working as Mueller. The centering pass went off the stick of Johansson. And away comes Stefan Thoresen. A rink wide pass chipped away by Eisenschmidt. Back to center ice. Holos up for Roost. Pieta. Kicked ahead by Sebastian Avera.
Germany's been out without Corbinian Holzer. He's standing at the end of the bench without a helmet. The entire period, I just saw the trainer run back with a bucket, and they got to get it sized. He's just standing there staring at him.
And the dressing room's a long way from here. The dressing rooms are over in the convention center, which is essentially across the street from here. There's a passageway through, but it's a long walk for the players. So long, in fact, that the goaltenders are ferried back and forth on golf carts.
So now Holzer's got to try and make this fit. Yeah, pretty good. On it goes. When we saw the goalies come over for practice the first day, everybody else is walking over and they're in the golf cart. Looks kind of funny, but it's a long, long way, as you mentioned. They've really retrofitted this rink well for this. I think it looks terrific, and as you've mentioned a few times, it's a handball facility. They have concerts in here, and there was a diving competition somehow in here. I guess they brought a pool in. I assume the pool came in.
Well, they paid what they did. It was sadly the last concrete diving competition ever held. Dennis Seidenberg back across to Mabus. It's a good thing you're not in charge of the IOC, is all I can say. You'd have some oddball sports.
I'd cut costs. You wouldn't have to bring in a pool. Why?
If you're in charge of Rio, we'd have to put up that green pool. Here's Michaelis with it. And banks the puck around. Scooped up by Dennis Seidenberg, who plays that back to center. Knocked down neatly by Nobles as the Germans are changing. And Marcel Nobles got tied up there. Dennis Seidenberg came in to help. Holos. Through the middle for Ken Olam. And Solston brings it across the line for Norway, but the play is offside.
In a game that has been pretty wild and unpredictable, the first 3 minutes of this period have been pretty tame, to those guys' dismay. There are rebounds to be had here if Germany can get the puck to the net. Huckelin has been okay in goal. He's been beaten by some odd ones, but he leaves a lot of loose change around.
Knocked away from Draisaitl. In comes Valkve Olsen for it. Goes that towards the goal. Glove by Pielmeyer, and he'll hang on.
And at this end, Timo Pielmeyer gave up 2 goals in the first period. The shorthanded goal to Ken-Andre Olam, a power play goal to Valkve Olsen, and then a power play goal, or rather a even strength goal to Bastiansen at the start of the second period, but hasn't given up anything since.
Forsberg for the face-off against Cahoon. An overtime game between these two would really scramble things on this side of the draw. They both were beaten past regulation time in their openers. Germany lost a shootout to Denmark. Norway beaten in overtime by Latvia. 2 points for an overtime or shootout win, 1 point for a loss, 3 points for a regulation win under IIHF rules. So with Canada, the US, and the Finns, the favorites take the top 3 spots on this side.
Germany plays the United States in their next game. Norway has Finland next. Finland and Canada next for Norway.
Germany plays Canada its last game of the round robin a week from Tuesday. Stefan Esplund with it now for Norway. And fired ahead and chipped in by Tommy Christensen. Norway, a great Winter Olympic country. Only 3 athletes have won 8 gold medals at the Winter Olympics. They're all Norwegians, either cross-country skiers or biathletes. Then you go to speed skating. The great Johan Olaf Koss from Norway, who won 4 gold medals in speed skating.
What a performance that was.
Became a doctor, got his MBA, founded Right to Play, the international organization that helps kids in war zones around the world find a way to play. Aside from that, he hasn't really done much with himself. Mattis Olam shoots, gloved by Pielmeyer. The puck loose at the side of the goal. Picked up by Mattis Olam. Koss, the hero of the Lillehammer Norway games in 1994. The greatest small Olympics, they've been called. Eilish, the last Olympics before these without NHL players. Loose puck in front, and Draisaitl drops that down. Picked free by Jonas Mueller, throws it back in front. Great chance there. Plakta turned away point blank by Hawkland. Brought in now by Mattis Olam. Takes the return pass, Olam. But buried in the corner by Bjorn Krut. And when Ken Olam came over to avenge his brother's hit, Krut flattened him as well. Back goes Jonas Mueller. Icing waved off. Tretinez couldn't knock him down. Now played across to Krut. Bjorn Krut played junior hockey in North America. 3 years with the Belleville Bulls. Also played for the U.S. National Team Development Program. Born in the United States when his dad was playing there. Yeah, that kicks that ahead. Now back at the point is Lawrence Mueller trying to find Avera. He was turned around. Norway got into all kinds of penalty trouble in the first period. Germany had 4 power plays. Norway scored a shorthanded goal in one of them. The shots in the game are 34-22 in favor of Germany. Salston walks it and shoots. Bad save by Pielmeyer. The rebound almost picked up by Volkve Olsen. In comes Tiffels now, trying to flip that back in front, knocked away by Sorvik. And Volkve Olsen has a head of steam. Bounces it down on Pielmeyer, who kicks that away. And Dennis Seidenberg has it back. Tiffels across for Michaelis. Back to Frederick Tiffels. And Michaelis got spun around. And now Tiffels flips it back down in the Norwegian zone. Stefan Thoresen banks that down in the German zone. Dennis Seidenberg goes back, collides hard with Hoff. Picked out by Mattis Olim. Before he goes to Hollis, a long shot. Hit the leg of Holzer in front. Pielmeyer down, pounces on the loose puck. And is able to hang on. Back with more for the third period here in Herning, Denmark in a moment. Back here in Herning, Denmark on the third day of the 2018 World Hockey Championship. Canada back in action tomorrow against the host Danes. And Germany will play the United States tomorrow. In Copenhagen, Sweden still leading the Czech Republic 3-1 in the third period. Radko Gudas just got a roughing penalty.
He could get a roughing penalty just about anywhere.
At the hotel, on the bus,
on vacation.
Mattis Olim shoots, it goes off a leg and wide. Still to come here tonight. Latvia will play Finland in Copenhagen. Slovakia will take on Switzerland.
The Swiss will be without Sven Andrighetto, who was suspended for a game for a knee-on-knee hit.
Mattis Olim walks in, shoots, goes off the leg of Cahoon. And Ken Olim works that free. Olim, a long wrist shot, that deflected, went just wide. And Lindstrom plays it down to Mattis Olim. And now Lindstrom able to hold the line, feeds it back down, picked off by Jonas Mueller. For Dominic Cahoon to Hager. Rink wide, that pass went off a skate, now get it up by Jonas Mueller. Eisenschmidt back to Mueller, winds and shoots, that hit the hand of Norway's Tommy Christensen. Moritz Mueller with it. We mentioned the fact that Germany has 10 players from its Olympic team, 3 of them that won silvers in Pyeongchang, announced a retirement for the national team. That long shot scores! A floater from the blue line. Gets by Pielmeyer. Daniel Sorvik flips it home, and Norway's back on top. Wow.
I said in the second period, this game might turn if somebody gets a save. How about that? Ugh. A 50-foot floater from Daniel Sorvik. There is nothing going on in this play. Norway is making a change. And Sorvik just flips this in, whips off the thumb of the glove.
Hit the stick, I think, of Pieta.
I don't care if it hit 4 sticks. That's from 50 feet. You got to be able to catch this. This is why they went to the DH in the American League. He's got to have that. Norway, the lead again.
Third time in the game that Norway has led. Just to finish the thought, 3 Germans retired at the Olympics from the national team. Christian Ehrhoff, Patrick Reimer, Marcel Gottsch, and 5 other players, including David Wolf and Marcus Kink, who are key players in that German team, were injured in the German League playoffs. So
they're not exactly the same team as went to the last minute with a gold medal.
Now
as
a
well.
centering pass, score! They're right back in it. Yannick Seidenberg flips it home. 4-4, might be last shot wins.
"25 seconds after a 4-3 lead on a floater, Elitz and Draisaitl get the puck going behind the net. Yannick Seidenberg's going to take this pass after a nifty, strong move here by Matthias Plachta. Plachta puts it right on the tee for Seidenberg. This is under the bar, and Germany erases that horrid goal that Pielmeier has given up. We're tied again. 3 assists for Draisaitl tonight. Plachta with a couple.
And Yannick Seidenberg, who played 1 season with the Medicine Hat Tigers in 03-04.
Unfortunately, Yannick Seidenberg was so involved in the tying goal at the Olympics. They were on the power play, had a shot blocked. It went down to the other end, and in the scramble, his helmet came off, so he vacated the ice, which is a penalty in international play if you don't leave the ice. He left, and they scored the tying goal out of the scramble. It was just a bad sequence of events for him, but he gets a big one here in a game that could go a long way to determining who gets that 4th quarterfinal spot.
Now Tiffel's a wraparound try, shut down by Hoechlin. 9 to go here in the 3rd period. Norway grabs the lead. Germany fights back. And here we go into the final half of the 3rd period. Both teams went to extra time in their first game. In fact, 3 games on this side so far have gone past regulation, including Canada's shootout loss to the United States in the opener here. Kramer, long lead pass for Rivera. And that pass didn't reach him. Icing called against Germany.
Start of the 3rd period, it kind of settled into a little bit of a cautious approach from both teams. Nobody with many chances, and then the long one from Daniel Sorvik is answered quickly by Yannick Seidenberg. Seidenberg up near the front of the net. Plays defense, used to be a forward, goes back and forth a little bit depending on what Germany needs. And he comes up with a pretty important goal there.
Pieta brings it in now for Germany, holds and feeds it back to Moritz Mueller. A long shot, and Hoechlin made the save on that. Mattis Olam across for Esplin. For Ken Olam. Banks that down to the German zone, and Pieta back to pick it up. Squeezed that by Mattis Olam. Moritz Mueller throws it in. Now knocked down. Mattis Olam in alone. Shoots. Saved by Pielmeier. Now drop back. Another chance. And that shot by Roymark deflected wide.
Puck bouncing on Mattis Olam as he went to make a move, and Pielmeier stayed with him.
That play looked close to offside. And by the way, there are coaches' challenges here at the World Championship. As the lead pass goes to Ken Olam, buried there by Jonas Mueller. Lead pass for Eisenschmidt, poke check there by Bull. Eisenschmidt back with it, a centering pass for Cahoon, he couldn't find it. And Johan Johansson sends it ahead for Nicholas Roost. In comes Roost, plays it around. Trying to find Christensen. Feeds that back at the point. Holos. Had a look, elected not to shoot. Now his long wrist shot banks off Hagerin wide. Inside 7 to go here in the 3rd. Both these teams on 1 point based on their overtime and shootout losses. Christensen. Feeds that back to Von Saxon. Holos. In for Roast. Walks it and shoots. That was blocked by Krupp. Hager has it back 2-on-2. Feeds it at Reisenschmidt. Now Cahoon jumps in. The centering pass missed Hager. Now Hager spins and fires. That went high and wide. Held at the line by Holzer. Von Saxon. Valkve Olsen. That long shoot-in goes wide.
Why not? Get it on the net. You never know. He's given up one.
Draisaitl blocked. Sends it back in front. That pass just missed Ehlers. Loose again. The shot onto Hookland by Draisaitl. Neither goaltender is exactly inspiring a overwhelming sense of confidence at this point, are they?
No, they're not. Hookland has not been able to swallow up a shot today, and Pielmeier's just given up a 50-foot waffle.
And Dennis Seidenberg rips that on goal. The glove save made by Hookland. 5:35 to go here in a tied third period. Boy, what a chance for Matt Hazola moments ago, and that breakaway, but the puck bounced on him.
Not surprisingly, the feed was from his brother, who scored a shorthanded goal when Mattis was in the box in the first period. We're inside of 6 minutes, tied at 4. Norway still has not trailed at any point in their 2 games.
Except for the last part, the overtime goal by Latvia, but amazing. And you got to convert that into points. Preferably more than one. Thorson long shot, stopped by Pielmeier. The rebound, scooped up and centered there. As Ludwig Hoff jumped on that. Took that Thorson, and now Plachta back with it. Matthias Plachta walks in, throws it back in front, and just missed Moritz Mueller with that pass. Yannick Seidenberg shoots. That was blocked by Thorson. Ehlers gathers up the loose puck. Both teams changing. Ehlers works in. Sharp angle shot. And Hookland gloves that and hangs on.
Tied at 3. Daniel Sorvik shoots a 50-footer that goes in. Just 25 seconds later, Yannick Seidenberg responds off the pass from Matthias Plachta. And after Ken Olam steals this puck, he finds his brother Mattis in tight. Pielmeier makes an important stop to keep the game tied at 4. It's pretty evident the players are aware of how important these points are. Denmark already has 3 in the book.
And now Ken Olam brought down a penalty coming to Germany. It'll be a tripping call against Corbinian Holzer with 4.5 to go in the third period.
Way back in the first period, Norway had their only power play.
Germany penalty number 5, 2-minute trip.
Thomas Valkve Olsen scored on the power play. Is from the ref cam. We see the tripping penalty. So Holzer, one of their penalty killers, sits in the penalty box.
So 4:30 to go here, and we'll step away from Herning, Denmark. Play back underway here with Norway on the power play. 4 to go in the third period. Mattis Olim. Asplund. Back to Mattis Olim. Works it back across. And the shot taken there by Tobias Lindstrom. Rebound, no goal. Lindstrom was hit in the mask, and the referee called play right away as that dislodged the mask.
And there's a difference from North America. That would count because they wouldn't have blown the play dead, I don't suspect, because it happened so quickly. This is a Lindstrom shot, hits Pielmeyer. Well, they might have. That snapped his mask off right away. Lindstrom's shot catches Pielmeyer square in the mask. You see his mask had snapped off immediately. Valkve Olsen had put it into the empty net, however, the play blown dead.
Minute 26 to go in the power play. 3:55 to go here in the third. Don't see Ken Olim on the power play for Norway at the moment. Unusual because normally the Olim brothers are together. Mattis plays it back for Esplund. Weiss Lindstrom to Esplund. Mattis Olim back to Esplund. Feeds it back to Mattis Olim. Works in. That was blocked by Dennis Seidenberg. Bouncing puck in front. Valkve Olsen put that high and wide. Lindstrom backhands that down to Valkve Olsen. Plays it around for Olim. And then Mattis Olim feeds it back for Esplund. Across he goes for Lindstrom. Esplund. Across to Olim. Lindstrom winds and shoots. Pielmeyer gets a piece. The puck bounces off the end boards, and Pielmeyer had to swat that away as well.
A couple good retrievals by Norway here. Now you've got the penalty killers worn a bit.
40 seconds to go in this power play. Esplund shot blocked partially, and Nobles can't clear it out. In comes Mattis Olim. Feeds it back across. Lindstrom sets it up. Esplund shoots. That goes wide. And now a chance in front. Valkve Olsen shoots. And Pielmeyer makes a save on that as Jonas Mueller finally skates it out. And the Germans can change.
That's a minute and 45 seconds for those penalty killers to withstand. They do the job. And we'll be inside of 2.5 minutes when this penalty's over. Tied at 4.
Loose in the corner. Picked out by Salston. That shot was blocked, so back it is the 5-on-5. And Bjorn Krupp with it. The final 2 minutes now of the third period. Chips that down to the German zone. There he is in a tie game with under 2 to go. He's barely played in the game. And long shoot in by Seidenberg. Auckland hangs on to that.
Face off in the offensive zone, and so that'll get Leon Draisaitl and Elitz on the ice alongside of Plachta. Auckland has to wrestle around with Dennis Seidenberg's 95-footer.
Face off in the Norwegian zone. Shots in the game are 40-32 in favor of Germany. The Germans piled up 17 shots in the first period thanks to those 4 power plays.
Remember, Norway was penalized earlier for a face-off violation.
Forsberg gets tossed. So now Roymark will take the draw. Advantage Germany here with Draisaitl in. And he wins it. But off the draw, great job there by Tommy Christensen to kick it out. Polos. High off the glass, back to center ice. Moritz Mueller back to pick it up. In comes Draisaitl with it now. On Saxon to the line, but not out. Eilish. Back for Moritz Mueller. Across to Yannick Seidenberg. Shoots. Hockman made the glove save, juggled it for a moment, but is able to hang on.
Norway has the look of a team just hanging on here. A couple of face-offs in the offensive zone that they can't retrieve.
And meanwhile, Denmark watching this. The Danes got 2 points from their opener, which they won in a shootout against Germany, then lost to the United States. They'd probably prefer someone win this in regulation time.
Yeah, the extra points go a long way once you get towards the end.
It gets muddy if everyone's getting points in the same games. Dennis Seidenberg steps up. Now bank back to the German line. Jonas Mueller swept that away. And here is Hager back with it. 40 seconds to go in the third period. Hager works in. Now Tiffels gets bumped. And Forsberg to the line, but not out. Michaelis picks it up. Banks it down to Jonas Mueller. Tied up by Von Saxon. And now Tiffels. Spins back in the corner. Von Saxon. Try to work that free. Time winding down here. And Von Saxon stepped into Jonas Mueller, gave him a shot. And Mueller goes down. No indication of a penalty from the officials. And
Jonas Mueller was about 30 seconds from being the Olympic hero. He scored late in the gold medal game to give Germany the lead. He gets hurt here. Oh, he gets hit with the helmet of Von Saxon right in the mouth.
That look
accidentally on purpose?
Yeah.
I would concur. There's no real penalty for that. You're just trying to push him away.
Headbutting is a penalty.
But it wasn't a headbutt. He just moved his whole body over there.
Okay.
And he gets the face off outside the zone.
Contact to the head area is not permitted under IIHF rules.
Nope. We'll have to take that up with somebody. The draw's outside. We're going to overtime.
Thank you for your support. Plachta, centering pass bounced away, and to overtime we go. So each team guaranteed 1 point. And a crucial second one on the line when we return to Herning, Denmark.
Shots in the third period. Team Germany 12, Team Norway 12. Total Team Germany 42, Team Norway 32.
Back here in Herning, Germany and Norway going to overtime. This is the 7th game on this side of the draw, the 4th that has gone to overtime. Overall, the 6th overtime game in the first 3 days of the tournament.
Norway didn't get very far in their overtime game yesterday.
Well, Latvia scored early. Beautiful goal by Rudolf Balzer. We welcome those of you who are watching in Copenhagen, the game between Sweden and the Czech Republic. Sweden winning that one 3-2. Ricard Raquel with a point, all 3 Swedish goals. So 3-on-3 overtime. And if necessary, after that, a 5-round shootout or more. Yannick Seidenberg got held up there by Mattis Olom, and Ehlers comes back to the loose puck. We mentioned Germany knew lots about overtime at the Olympics. Beat Norway in a shootout. Overtime wins over Switzerland and Sweden, and an overtime loss to Russia in the gold medal game. Yannick Seidenberg drops that back to Draisaitl.
One Holo showed on Draisaitl. And to let the forwards play against each other here.
Draisaitl spins around Holos. Sends him awkwardly to the end boards. And then throws him down. And play continues. So that little 2-man battle continues, and Holos pulled out the loose puck. Now he leaves it. He's got to get off. That was an exhausting wrestling match with Draisaitl.
That's a win for Norway. They can get Draisaitl off the ice.
Lindstrom out there with Anders Bastiansen. His long shot goes high off the glass. Now moving in is Christian Bull. Drops it back to Bastiansen for Lindstrom. Tobias Lindstrom spins back. Moves away from Hager, shields him off, and Hager shoves him down. Gives himself a partial break, but back comes Bull on it. Cahoon takes the pass. He gets bumped there by Lindstrom as Norway defends there, creating a breakaway and then almost another. Now Salston moves it ahead. Moves around Dennis Seidenberg. 3 to go in the overtime. That pass in front gets down to Pielmeyer as Mattis Olom was looking for the loose puck.
So Patrick Hager has 2 goals in the game, both on the power play, and he's got a chance here at a third, but this is an excellent push to defend by Christian Bull. He comes all the way back to catch Hager before Hager can get close enough to shoot the puck.
Ken Olom won that, or lost that face round rather to Frederick Tipples. And in comes Jonas Mueller. Works in and gets steamrolled in the end boards by Tommy Christensen. Jonas Mueller back with it. Holds and shoots, and Hockland got just a piece of that. At the point, Jonas Mueller holds for a moment. He's got Holos back over him as Holos is back on the ice. Tipples gathers it up. It's a shoving match in front of the Norwegian bench. Play continues. Draisaitl works it. He was poke checking. Now a penalty coming. They'll take them both here.
I don't like this call here. And the reason I don't is Tommy Christensen stood there and let Mueller push away at him. What's kind of remarkable about this is, they're going to get Thoresen. Don't know where he fit into the equation here, because it was Christensen that was in the pushing match. See, Christensen and Mueller are going to get at it here.
Off the bench. So Thoresen off the bench gave him a poke against the extra penalty. Not the extra penalty, but a penalty for Norway.
So it'll just stay 3-on-3.
Enough note, if it goes to a shootout, there's 2:21 left, so both those guys can still shoot. We saw Connor McDavid in the penalty box against the U.S. Yannick Seidenberg works in and shoots. Hockland makes the save on him, point blank.
Oh, Yannick Seidenberg lost Mattis Olom on the sidewall. Watch him, a little stop and go, And now he's on the inside. Great move by Seidenberg. He wants to pull Hochland and go through his legs, and Hochland makes a nice stop.
And now Draisaitl back out there, along with Elis and Yannick Seidenberg. Anders Bastiansen lost the face-off clean to the Draisaitl. Yannick Seidenberg across to Elis. Elis, nifty move, walks right in, shoots, and a pad save by Hochland.
This feels like the only way Norway can win is if it gets to a shootout. As Germany has just completely dominated the early part of this overtime.
Bastiansen, penalty coming out, works in, Bastiansen shoots, and a save made by Pielmeyer, and now with 1:52 to go, we've got a penalty to Germany, and Yannick Seidenberg's into it with Anders Bastiansen.
The penalty is Leon Draisaitl.
So now, 1:52 to go in overtime. If this goes to a shootout, Draisaitl won't be able to shoot.
He clips Bastiansen up through the middle of the ice. So this is a 4-on-3 power play. And if Germany is able to
Germany number 29.
kill this off, as you mentioned, Leon Draisaitl will not shoot in overtime, or in the shootout rather.
What do you think of that rule?
I like it. I don't see why you would be able to participate in the game if you're supposed to be in the penalty box.
So Norway now calls timeout.
Still part of the game. You're in the box, sit your 2 minutes out.
Your choice is stay in the penalty box or go to the dressing room. You cannot be on the bench.
I can't imagine anybody would choose go back to the room. It's not really much of a choice, is it? So now Norway will get their guys on the ice.
All the turning points and twists and turns in a 7-game round robin to be one of the top 4 teams. And you got to think whoever leaves the point in the board here.
Well, they're certainly a step behind here because the other team will be a point in front of them. Now you got to dig up a win somewhere. Interesting to note here. So Mattis Olim is always on the power play. Tommy Christensen, who is the most penalized player in the history of the Norwegian League, plays in front of the net. Big right-handed shot. But it's Lindstrom who's playing number 18, taking the draw. It's his first international tournament. He's the shooter on the right side. That's the guy they want to find with the puck.
They back down the ice by the Germans. Imagine if Norway loses this game. Will not have trailed in the first 2 games and won't have a win. Olim plays it back to Stefan Esplund. Esplund back across. Olim shoots. Pad save by Pielmeyer. Christensen fights off Holzer. Plays it back to Olim. That is Olim. Walks in, winds and fires. It goes off Dennis Seidenberg over the glass and out.
I'm surprised Olim shot that second one. After shooting the first one, Christensen does a good job to get the puck back for him. And now when Olim comes off the half wall, he shoots it again. He had Lindstrom open for the one-timer.
Yeah, we've been watching Mattis Olim for years. He rarely shoots.
Yeah, he's a pass-first guy.
And now Hager's shown out, so Dennis Seidenberg will have to take the draw for Germany. Well, it's either him or Holzer.
Doesn't look like he's taken too many.
Lost that one rather easily as Ken Olim has it now. Back to Holos. To Valkve Olsen. Holos to Ken Olim. Bastiansen standing in front. That long shot was blocked. And now Dennis Seidenberg really high off the glass. Plays that down the ice. And that's low glass on the side. And Holos with it now. A minute to go in the Norwegian power play. But 45 seconds left in the period. So Holos works in. Plays it back across. Valkve Olsen shoots. That was blocked. And now Bastiansen keeps it alive for Valkve Olsen. Back for Holos. Slaps it across. Valkve Olsen shoots off the side of the goal. Holzer on it now. Banks it to the line, but not out. 30 seconds to go in overtime. Holos plays it across. Ken Olim shoots. That was blocked by Dennis Seidenberg. Holos shoots again. Blocked again by Seidenberg.
Great work by Seidenberg.
4 blocks here in overtime. Valkve Olsen shoots. He fired that wide. And now Ken Olim can't hold it as time winds down here in overtime. Valkve Olsen comes off. Lindstrom comes on. Ken Olin winds in, shoots, and the puck trickles just wide as Pielmeyer made the save. And the Germans clear it down. This game is going to go to a shootout. And for that shootout, Leon Draisaitl will remain in the penalty box for Germany. 4-4 the score through 3 periods of regulation and OT. The shootout is coming up.
In Royal Arena, the game between Team Sweden and Team Czech Republic is complete. The final standing: Sweden 3, Czech Republic 2. Join the fans on before and after each game. Music, food, entertainment, and lots of fun. Don't forget to get your tickets for the next game. Tickets can be bought at Ticketmaster Sports Office in the arena and in the fan shop. Get your official merchandise today. Don't forget to visit the IIHF merchandise tent in the fan shop. Shots on goal in the overtime. Team Germany 2, Team Norway 4.
So a coin toss will take place here at the timekeeper's bench to determine who shoots first.
And that's something. Yesterday, Connor McDavid, or 2 days ago, Connor McDavid sits in the penalty box while Canada shoots. And now today, Edmonton's #2 center, Leon Draisaitl, sits in the penalty box while Germany shoots.
These teams met in a shootout in Pyeongchang at the Olympics. The first 3 Germans scored, the first 3 Norwegians didn't. That was it in the 5-round shootout. The 3 Germans who scored are all here. 2 of the 3 Norwegians who shot are also here. Different goalies, however. That was Danny Austenbergen
and Lars Haugen.
So it was Hager, Plachta, and Cahoon who scored for the Germans. Norway will go first here. And they'll turn to Tretinez, who did not shoot at the Olympics. Matthias Tretinez, who plays in Germany for the Krefeld Penguins. Moves in, great move, scores. Wow.
What a great fake as he's got Pielmeyer down on his knees. He slides it around him. Norway's got the opener.
And Germany will go to Daniel Pieta, his teammate with Krefeld. Pieta stopped by Hockland just. Germany lost a shootout to Denmark in its opener.
That hit his glove. He didn't stop it. That hit his glove. If that's up a little higher, it's in. And here goes Stefan Esplin, the defenseman.
And stopped by Pielmeyer.
After watching Pielmeyer get deked the first time, I would say you've got to deke him here. He stays with the shot to make the save. Here's Patrick Hager, who's got 2 goals today for Germany.
Scored against Norway in the Olympic shootout, and this time he's turned away by Hauklund. It's a 5-round shootout, by the way.
Hauklund, the goalie of the year in the Allsvenskan, the second Swedish league, makes the stop.
And now it'll be Tobias Lindstrom. Holds and scores. And now, Norway with a 2-0 lead.
We got to get the story why Tobias Lindstrom has not been on any international team here. He's 30 years old. He slides this through. He scored 28 goals in the Norwegian league this year.
I wonder if it's because he's born in Sweden. It might have taken him some time to get Norwegian citizenship. Now Dominic Cahoon works in. Cahoon, a backhand shot off the pipe.
Oh.
And so now, Norway can win it.
That'll be one of the Olams pretty soon, doesn't it?
They're going to Bastiansen.
He's got a goal today, a 37-year-old. He's got a goal in both games.
Didn't score in the shootout against Germany at the Olympics. Bastiansen walks in and scores! And Norway wins it. 2 points for Norway, 1 for Germany. And the Norwegians finally make a lead pay off. They've yet to trail in the World Championship. And they come away with a shootout win over Germany.
Germany has 2 points. Norway has 3.
And should they wind up tied in the standings, Norway will have the edge on the head-to-head.
This is a nice move by Bastiansen as he freezes Pielmeyer. As I mentioned earlier, I would deke him the way Pielmeyer bites on the deke. The first time, this hit the top of his right pad and slides just through his legs. Really nice patience by Bastiansen. He's got Pielmeyer opened up. He puts it through the 5-hole. And it's a Norway win in a shootout.
Germany will face the United States on Monday. Norway next up against the Finns on Tuesday after a 5-4 shootout win.
The best players of each team will be awarded with the official announcement official timekeeper of the 2018 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship. The prizes will be presented by Team Germany, Franz Reindl, IIHF Council member and President of the German Ice Hockey Association. And for Team Norway, Gerhard Nielsen, President of the Norwegian Ice Hockey Association. Best player, Team Germany. Player number 50, Patrick Hager. And the best player from Team Norway, player number 40, Ken Andre Olin. Please rise for the national anthem of Norway. The next game in Jyske boxing will be at 8:15. Team Latvia against Team Finland. Don't forget to get your tickets for the next game. Tickets can be bought at Ticketmaster's box office in the arena and in the fan show. Get your official merchandise today. Don't forget to visit the IIHF merchandise tent in the fan show. To the public, they've been fantastic. Join the fan zone before and after each game. Music, food, entertainment, and lots of fun.
A massive win over Germany. Just seeing the smile on your face, the celebration, you must be elated.
Yeah, it was a really good game. It was a battle to the end, and we knew it's going to be a tough game, so we're so happy we came out with a win.
Your captain, Anders Bastiansen, 37 years old, the oldest player on this roster, not only a leader, but scores the shootout winner for you guys. What does he mean to this team?
Yeah, he means a lot to the group. He brings on routine and shows the younger guys, and he always one of the guys who are working the hardest too.
Next time going forward, hopefully limiting shots against your goalie. I mean, it felt like he had to stand on his head today.
Yeah, it is good. So we have two really good goalies, and of course we have to maybe try to so the team doesn't have so many shots.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Another game that goes the distance for you guys, this time to Shootout. Did you feel the fatigue setting in at any point?
Well, I think we came out strong in the first and got the fucking PK goal right away on our own PP. So it's always hard if you have to chase always the lead, and we tied every time, we tied it up, but we couldn't find a way to play with the lead. And so in the end, Shootout again. We haven't scored a goal in 8 attempts now, so obviously if you don't score in the Shootout, you can't win a game.
Now you guys have to dig yourselves out of a hole in terms of acquiring points. You'll take on USA tomorrow, who's leading the group right now. How do you put this loss behind you?
Well, it's always tough. I mean, that's two nations we want to beat. We want to play for a top 8 seed, and we fell short twice. So now the challenge is even harder against a really strong US team. But like we're gonna have a look at the video today. We're gonna settle down, and then tomorrow we're gonna attack again. And we know it's gonna be a good team, but it's gonna be a great fight, and we're gonna be prepared.
Thank you.
Thank you.
conviction and determination I need every day. The years of training, pushing myself to be the strongest, the sharpest. My dedication to the game, to my teammates who are counting on me to deliver. The nerves of steel, the preparation and ritual before